Da, 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 da. There we go. I hope we're all doing well. Welcome back to another part of Resident Evil Village. I just need to down this first, hang on. Right. Don't worry, that was not alcohol. That was in fact Red Bull. Belly button fever. Right. Where are we going? B1? Probably B1. Right, I assume we're going to take on Spinny Propeller Dude now, right? So we're actually going to take on a mini boss before we take on the actual boss. I think. I have no fucking idea. No, not on this floor. Oh wait, maybe. Yeah, it is this floor. Okay. Mr. Grinch.
I'm tired of chit-chat. Time to die. You can hear it, can't you? Someone waiting for you.
Oh, now. Sturm. I feel like, out of all of them as well, the idea for like a dude with a propeller on his head seems to be the cheapest one. Like, okay, and all I can imagine is like an overgrown child with like one of those hats with the propellers on. A big lollipop in their hand. Oh.
I don't have time for this bullshit. Out of my way!
What is this? Are we doing the boss now? Oh, we are. Come on. What is going on? What the fuck? Got ya. What the fuck? Shit. What the fuck? Why can he make corners sometimes? What do I see? Well. Come on. I don't know why you went over there. I'm making up a... Oh, okay. Shit! This is really weird inconsistency with what you can and can't do. Right, we're gonna die. Do we have any explosive rounds? I've got them. Fuck it. At least twit. So getting hit by the propeller sometimes doesn't kill you, but sometimes it does. I guess I'll do that.
You really are a tough one.
Get
But
all
I'm
this shit.
tired of chit-chat. Time to die. You can hear it, can't you? Someone's waiting for you.
Yep, and I might have gone down now. We'll find out. Don't want to press that. Look. So it is his back we need to aim for. Before we do that... Okay, never mind. I was just wondering if we had... Took the magnum in for me. Yeah, it works.
I don't have time for this bullshit. Out of my way!
How can you really do anything when there's a fucking dead end? What am I up fucking at? Okay. Sure. Can't even see the dude. Come on. Jesus. Okay. Get out of the way!
Now stay down.
Was that it? Uh-oh. Okay. And I'll fucking reward for that. Right, what else is there in here? Sniper. It's a fucking sniper rifle ammo. Like a close quarters. Oh, I just. And a cigar. Miranda is abominable. Her deceit knows no bounds. We merely a bunch of failed Cadell experiments to her. Oh. Okay. So the Cadeaux, all those weird things that Moreau was working on, wasn't it? Is that his name? What was his name? Him. Yeah, Moreau. So that it's all the shit that he was working on. I'm assuming that like the what are they called? The Cadeaux are like experimented mold, essentially, or like mold messed about with. Maybe they're trying to make mold babies, or you know, something along those lines. They're trying to find a way to live forever. I don't know. I don't understand why, like, wasn't it the progenitor virus in one of the previous Resident Evil games, where that was like the regenerative virus, and now we're doing mold. I feel like you could have used that, unless this is going to be a weird. We're going to fuck with the Resident Evil canon shit, which sort of happened in 7 at the end, kind of, but not to a massive extent that was noticeable. Oh, that's anticlimactic. Yeah, there's a chance that this might all just go a little off the rails. Like, plot-wise, not... we went off the rails gameplay-wise long ago. Something having a big room like this, I'm not doing anything with it. Also, press X to open. Okay, I kind of need to.
Not bad. Not
so what?
bad.
Telekinesis? Magnetism? What are
I got a rebellion. So stay out of my way.
Okay, so it's invincible to bullets. He didn't want to kill us, to be fair. He did just... I mean, he did send giant propeller guy off us, but this is just really fucking weird. Like...
Damn it again?
What? I don't... Oh. I was gonna say, I don't really know where I am or what I'm doing now. Into the grates. Oh, oh. My man!
I told you to leave it alone, Ethan! You are in the way.
What do you care, Chris? You killed my wife, you son of a bitch!
You think I killed Mia? That wasn't her.
Oh, called it.
It was Miranda.
What?
She's a bioweapon. She changed her appearance and pretended to be Mia. Seems she also survived being shot, so now I'm here to finish the job.
Bullshit! Why don't you fucking tell me right away?
Because I knew you would want to be involved. And this job is hard enough without civilians getting in the way.
He's not a civilian.
Why us, Chris? What the hell is going on?
All right, Ethan. All right. I guess I owe you an explanation. Hand me that wrench.
What the fuck? You can't just fade to black. Like...
Long story short, Miranda's fucking insane.
Oh,
in this village,
God,
all these monsters and freaks, this is her life's work. Some sort of crazy experiment with the mold.
Did they just give up on a proper
like
explanation?
Louisiana. God damn it. All this time, I thought I could save my family. I can't escape from here. I can't do anything.
That might not be true. Take a look at this. My men sent those pictures a few minutes ago.
Miranda.
Keep looking.
Rose. Holy shit, we gotta go!
Relax, my men are monitoring the situation.
But they have my daughter.
You don't get it, Ethan. You don't stand a chance against Miranda by yourself.
What are we gonna do, Chris?
I will stay down here and finish planting explosives. You take that elevator. I'll meet you topside. I promise you, we will get your daughter back. Together.
Damn straight we will. And when I find Miranda, she's a dead woman.
All right, Ethan. Then you take this, and do me a favor. Try to stay under the radar.
Was that a joke?
Can't turn back now.
So, yeah, Miranda wasn't Miranda. Sorry, no, Mia wasn't... Mia wasn't Mia. She was from Miranda. We kind of called that, right? I'm pretty sure we called that from the get-go. But it's confirmed that these are people who've been experimented with a mold. That's what the Godot are, so... What the fuck is this? Press X to get in, and it's like hold it down as if there's like a point of no return. Okay. I guess I'll look around the room for any other items I might want or need. It's not like I can get back up, right? It's not like that was it. Some money that I'm probably not going to spend. And that. Fucking hell.
Metal polymer composite, huh? Time to fight fire with fire.
How do you know that? Was he an architect back in his day or something? And he's just gonna magically know how to word this now. I'm still not sold on Chris's absence. And why he brought us here, and why he couldn't have just told us from the get-go. I feel like telling Ethan from the get-go would have saved a lot of time. Is Mia missing? Is she in a safe house? What's going on with Mia? Because if she's in the safe house elsewhere, then unless they can't find her, maybe Umbrella Blue are. Oh Lord. Maybe Umbrella Blue are looking for me as well.
You're like a goddamn cockroach! You think you can take me on? Fine. This'll be my warm-up before I kill that bitch. Let's settle this. Man, a man. Your corpse will be another addition to my army! This is the best! I need more! Come on! Show me what you got! So this is the path all along, huh?
I guess.
In the face of my steel glory!
I don't actually know if I'm doing any of this right.
That bitch here and her bliss. I'll kill her with the power she gave me. That's what I call being a good son! Buckle in!
Oh no.
What's wrong, Ethan? I felt spending years under the bitch's throat. The villagers are nothing but a bunch of worthless peons. I'm a goddamn freedom fighter. I'll use your cute
Are you sure?
to become more powerful.
Oh wow.
Toy boy, stop using my hand-me-down. The clock is ticking.
Well, they're nearly dead. Oh, he's actually a monster as well. Oh, he's not dead.
Quit acting so full of yourself. I'm tired of your shit.
Does that seem going to keep going into like a thing with that cannon?
Why my lordy? That boulder punching asshole.
What the
you
fuck?
first.
just going to acknowledge that?
Having fun?
I don't really know what's
Here
going
we
on.
go, Nathan. The final stretch. Well, what do you think? It's hopeless, right?
Hey, give me sniper
Flesh
rifle
and
ammo at a
blood
time like
will
this.
never win against me. This isn't David and Goliath. It's Ethan and a bloody demise.
What if I just... Fucking imagine this being overpowered.
You really should have taken my deal. You'll need Rose in the afterlife. Rose's power is one. Right after I murdered This can't be the end for me! I must kill her!
That was a cool spectacle that didn't really make a lot of sense.
Ethan? I heard explosions. What the hell happened?
But
I
you,
dealt with
you set off
Heisenberg.
the bombs.
Now I'm gonna find
It could have
Miranda
been you.
and get Rose back.
Not without me. It's too dangerous. Wait there, you hear me? Ethan?
Rose?
Ethan! Ethan, respond!
It's Miranda.
Nia?
Our child.
What the fuck is that
She's
tree
so
doing?
important, isn't she?
She's everything to me.
And mine to me. With Heisenberg gone, you've lost your lead. What are you going to do?
You know what? Mia should have been the
But
villain.
I'm saving Rose.
You'd never know, do you? Even when I took Mia's place in your home. Poor Ethan.
Who are you? Where's Rose? Miranda.
Enough.
It's got a good point.
Remember Evelyn
We still don't
and
know
her power
anything.
over them all? Rose
God.
is her successor. No. Rose is Evelyn's true, complete form.
I thought...
She will grow to fully control the masses. And I must have her.
Fuck you, you crazy bitch!
Calm yourself.
Ethan's like every drunk guy
Rose will
on a
be
Friday night. I've come to
The
that conclusion.
Megamycete catalogs all of us. However, she will be reborn as my daughter.
She's my child, not yours. Where are you? Show yourself!
Why did Rose come to be? Was it because of her parents? And you are truly a special case.
Wait, was she...
But I've learned all I
Was that
can.
meant to be she was the old woman the entire
Your
time?
worth as a lab rat. is
Fuck off, did you see that? Her model just
Miranda!
popped out.
You coward! Come out and face
They
me!
couldn't even do that properly. Her Miranda literally... that
Don't.
animation literally just popped out.
Your death will come quick. You will join the Megamycete's records. I will make sure to sample your blood for later. Once dawn breaks, the ceremony will be complete, and I will become her true mother, bound for eternity in blood.
I don't believe it.
I've waited so long. But dreams really can come true. Vessel or not, I can't wait to see my true child again.
So they just retconned Resident Evil 7, because I'm pretty sure they said that, like, Evelyn... Wasn't Evelyn, like, forced to have, like, the infection inside of her by, like, the rogue, like, the third-party association? I can't remember who they were called again. I think there was something stupid like just the agency or something like that. It's a team from Crackdown. But I'm pretty sure that the Resident Evil said that Evelyn was given the virus at a young age.
Captain, I've confirmed the death of Ethan Winters. I wasn't able to retrieve the body,
playing his Chris now.
I've recorded evidence.
Share your screen, and I'll go over the situation. My team and I were careless. Yesterday, we took down the transformed Miranda, but we didn't kill her.
Who knew she could fake being a corpse?
Since Miranda could have infected Ethan, I forcefully took him and Rose with us. But the vehicle they were riding in was attacked.
Wait, that happened yesterday?
When I got to the wreck, Ethan and Rose were gone. The last time I was able to contact Ethan, I heard Miranda's voice. She murdered him. And she is not gonna get away with it. God damn it, when does it end?
What's that, sir?
What's this accent Chris has now got?
All of it. 3 years trying to put this thing in the ground. 3 years too long.
I'm British, so my American accents are a bit fucked. But doesn't he sound a tad bit Boston? Just a little bit?
Go get her, Captain. The squad's ready for you.
I don't mind his redesign. I think that this design definitely looks a hell of a lot better than his Resident Evil 7 counterpart, but now that they've gone more towards a classic...
Waste any time?
Mission adjustment?
Yes, they fucking did.
Doesn't change anything. Terminate Miranda and rescue Rose. That's the mission. And failure's not an option.
Let's have some fun, people. Like old times.
Move out.
Roger.
Okay.
K9, I want to know what the hell BSAA is doing here. Find out what you can.
Roger that. I'm on it.
Been a while since we fought together, Captain.
Okay.
When was it last? The desert?
Doing nothing but recon's gotten me out of shape.
But thanks to your recon, we know Miranda's plan.
Couldn't quite believe it when I heard she turned herself into Mia, though.
Taking 5 shots to the head's nothing to sneeze at either.
There's been shape-shifting stuff in Resident Evil before. It's not new. But yeah, I prefer Chris's redesigning this over Resident Evil 7, because this one at least looks like it's somewhat in line with an older version of the classic Chris. Not too much, but more so than the original.
Hey, Alpha, look at this.
BSAA. They've gone too far. Christ.
Looks pretty rough down there. How are you planning on reaching the objective?
First, we're gonna have to take that thing out.
I've got your back, boss. Let's get to work.
Everyone watch for hostile bioweapons.
Roger.
Wait, we should probably look at our inventory. Okay, so... Okay, fair enough.
Make contact with a group of hostile bioweapons.
There's more than we... Watch out.
Wow. Okay. I was expecting to be firing for a bit longer. Oh my god, are you kidding me? So the assault rifles are actually overpowered in this, rather than underpowered like they were in 7.
Clear, moving out.
Roger that.
Can I? No, I can't make anything. But for some reason, he knows to make everything that Ethan does.
Don't get cocky.
Oh, weird slow down.
What the hell is that thing? It's so new to my seat.
Oh,
that's
fully animated as well.
Let's go. Large mutated bioweapon sighted.
Maybe releasing infectious particulates. Keep your masks on.
Didn't expect to see the BSAA going so long.
They had eyes on Miranda too. Probably felt they needed to intervene.
Those big dudes go down in a few hits for this? What the fuck is this game?
Hey boss, it's me. I'm at the location preparing for support fire. Might be a minute.
Roger.
Tundra here, leaving some supplies in one of the houses, Captain. Help yourself.
So, are they trying to swap? Okay. Weird, but sure, why not? So, are they trying to swap over the people now? It's the twist that the BSAA are the villains rather than Umbrella. Because I feel like that's more of a twist that they come up with before they came up with an explanation. Unless they're just going to say the BSAA is over cocky, which once again, like, really hard for me to believe given given the context of previous games. I mean,
Umberise, I need some backup.
I see you. 200 to the point.
Do we? I feel like we've been holding our own pretty easily. It's a molded tree. That's a cool spectacle that I still don't buy.
Never heard of a mutamycete colony growing so huge.
You just gonna stand there. Oh, that's a sniper, is it? No, it's not. That embers. Oh, that's a red dot.
Hey, I get eyes on you, boss. Keep going.
You know what? I bet you we probably don't even have to kill all these guys. We could probably just run to the end, right? There's probably going to be a cut-off point. That's what I'm thinking. What is this section of this game? You know what? No, I want to see how far we can get.
I've reached the target location. Damn, this is big. All right, Lobo. Marking the target.
Roger that, boss.
Oh my god. So the lichens actually just despawn if you get to this part.
Alright. Reloading now. Just a minute. There's a swarm headed that way.
What the fuck?
I'm reloaded. Ready when you are. Looks like it's about to collapse. Hold your horses.
Like, they all have the same sound effect and animation. I'm glad that they don't vary up their tactics whatsoever. I don't know what it is.
How many are there? Everyone okay? They're coming from the bowl. Take that!
Good. Megamycete must be below.
Give me a break.
What are we doing?
I found a way down. I'm going in, the rest of you stay back.
Captain, I compared the mold at the village with a sample from the bakers, and there's no sign of the genome editing we saw in the E-series. The stuff originated here.
Oh, fuck off. Don't you dare. Don't you dare do what I think you're gonna do. The Umbrella logo before and now this. I've got a terrible feeling about this.
Guarding the Megamycete, huh? Him, no. Lobo, I got a tough guy here. I'm gonna need backup.
Boss, you're on the ground.
There's an opening in the roof. Use it.
Okay, I'm moving out. Hold until you get there.
This is Batman to shoot.
Overhead, boss.
Good. I'll signal with the locator.
If I can.
Reloading now. Just a minute. Okay, Captain. I'm reloading. Ready when you are.
Oh, you're still gonna do it, are you?
Hold your horses. I'm reloading.
What do you mean hold your horses? Do we have anything else? We've got... What? We've got another grenade. hell things do we have?
Hostile bioweapon.
Oh, that was it. With all this firepower, and that was the
I'll
fight
keep
we
going.
went through.
Rest of you, stay above ground.
A convenient path forward.
So if Miranda was the fake Mia, where's the real one? I doubt she saw any further use for her. I don't get any of this. How did Miranda even know Rose
Wait, did
exists?
Mia kill Miranda? Or was that just a one-off line?
Maybe?
We can figure that out later. Focus on the plan. I found it. It's the Megamycete. Alpha to squad. I've located the Megamycete.
So now we can end this mess after all.
About damn time.
You could have got a little bit closer.
And 2 explosives armed. There's enough there to blow the whole village sky high.
Let's
What?
get out of
You
here
put
and blow
one
the damn
on there.
place.
Not
What's
before I
M2?
end Miranda. I'm not taking any more chances. I'm going in.
This is taking a chance.
That,
Oh,
standing
fuck
by. Captain, I have eyes on Miranda at the ceremony site.
Keep your distance. Do not move until I give the order.
I know it's too late now, but we really should have told Ethan the plan.
Yeah.
There wasn't time.
Yes, it was.
We didn't expect Miranda to act so soon.
Even so,
Miranda didn't fucking act. She was making dinner. What was making dinner the bad thing?
should have told him.
And why didn't she infect Ethan from the get-go?
Yeah.
What the fuck is this?
This must be Miranda's lab.
Must be. Oh god, we're just gonna. This is just gonna be exposition, isn't it? Right, strap yourselves in, guys. What does it say? Is it Salvatore Moreau? Oh, I understand. This is the game's explanation for. This is the game's excuse for making all the characters like the way they are in this. I actually can't believe that. Just a paragraph, nothing else, nothing more. No, we know her first name now. Regenerative rate is incredibly fast. The subject can heal any external wound within seconds and grow her nails. Yeah. Oh my fucking god. This is so bad. Like, you could have focused up on one of these dudes, right? You could have focused up on any one of these dudes, and then we could have had something a bit more in depth. But this isn't an explanation. This is like, shit, we need to... We had werewolves, vampires, and sea monsters, and like telekinetic dudes and stuff like that, but we haven't thought of a way to actually tie them into this. We haven't thought of a way to make them Resident Evil. So let's just bullshit the answer at the end. I'm not saying that that the explanations behind certain villains beforehand has been too successful, but you go back to things like Birkin, Wesker and stuff like that, and they did their best to ground them and make them make sense, not the characters but the mutations in the world of Resident Evil, the way the T-virus mutated and stuff like that. There was and there was plenty, more than enough of an explanation behind what's going on to make sense within the universe for those characters. This is Resident Evil 6 levels of giving a shit. Right, we need a creepy vampire. Let's throw this in there. At least when it came to like the mutation of, once again, like Birkin and Wesker and stuff like that, they made sense. It wasn't mutation first, logic later. The mutations in with the virus made sense. They built it up, you know. Everything with Birkin was an enhanced version of. There was another version of the T-virus called the C-virus, I believe it was called. and it was when he was looking for a cure for his daughter, I believe. But it went fucked, and he turned into that giant monster thing. Wesker's whole thing was to do with the Umbrella. They were sort of like manipulating various viruses through him in order to make him like a super soldier, essentially. But each virus was explained as we went throughout the games. You know, you got your explanations. They were trying to turn him into another tyrant, which is why they were experimenting on tyrants in Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3, and Code Veronica. So this stuff is there for that to make sense. You know, the T-virus is already a thing, so when you say that like things like the tyrants and stuff like that exist, by that point you already have enough of an understanding throughout the Spencer Manor. You've read enough documents throughout the entire game that builds up what the T-virus is, or what it could be anyway. It doesn't really go into its origins in Resident Evil, I don't think, but you've got a good idea of what it is, what it does, and how it can mutate its host. So by the time we get to the Tyrant at the end of the game, it's like Umbrella did fucked up shit. I can break my immersion slightly to believe the logic which this game has put forward to me. This, on the other hand, okay, we had like maybe a document, singular, a document per character before we got any further. I feel like the mecha zombie Lycan people had more of an explanation than any of the characters in this game. So just like we had a single document per character, and each document pretty much just said, look, this is their abilities in bullshit science terms, and here we go. You know, this is those documents summed up, but we didn't know what the virus was. We didn't know how it tied in to anything. You know, the closest guess we could have had was the mold. Fine, but we don't know what the mold was still. Like, that's why I said the progenitor virus. It would have made sense if the progenitor virus from previous Resident Evil games was the mold. You didn't have to have the mold. You already had something that did what the progenitor virus did, essentially. For those of you who don't know what the progenitor virus is, it's the original virus before the T-virus. I believe that's what it is anyway. Or it could have been... it was like an early strain of that, rather. So, they could have very easily said, okay, it's a progenitor virus, you know, in its like its larva form, if you will. So it doesn't look the same, and it doesn't interact with its host necessarily in the same way. Fine, great. You kept it in universe. You didn't add another layer of complexity on top of it, you know, which they couldn't back up. One of the reasons why the tanker scene at the end of Resident Evil 7 doesn't work isn't just to do with the gameplay segment, but it's to do with its explanation for everything that's going on. So Mia looking after Evelyn, reading, there are plenty of documents on the tanker that try to explain what the molded actually is, what the E virus is and stuff like that, but at the end of the day it doesn't work because the explanation is too flimsy. You know, it feels like that they've thought about how the monsters look first and the explanations for them second, and that's not where creativity comes from. You know, you can, well, for characters anyway, you can draw up these really cool looking monsters if you wanted to first, and they come up with explanations afterwards, but you're giving yourself a hell of an issue. You take Dark Souls bosses, for example, which this game seems to be obsessed with trying to mimic. Okay, I don't know if that's true, but you know, these bosses here belong more in a Dark Souls game than they actually do in a Resident Evil game. But with those, the explanations and the logs which you read before you actually go up against these bosses, okay, story building is shit in Dark Souls. I will say that. The world building, on the other hand, is amazing. So when it comes to finding out how characters got into the way they were, you can completely believe that someone wrote this explanation up first, and then they designed the character afterwards based on that explanation. So here they've done the opposite. You know, they've had the idea to put vampires and werewolves in a Resident Evil game. Fine. There are plenty of ways you can make that happen in Resident Evil in universe. You know, it's not like you have to stretch too far to think of a number of ways this can be done. But I'm meant to believe that a variant of this mold strain, which could be the progenitor virus ? If it is, they've retconned it. But also, I want to preface this before we go any further. I'm doing a little rant now, I know, but I want to preface this before we go any further. Regardless of what the explanation is for the mold, it's retconned. The reason for that is because the previous game did try to give an explanation for what the mold was. We didn't learn where it came from, but we learned enough about it, so that way it became its own thing. Resident Evil 7 was its own self-contained title based within the Resident Evil universe for the most part. Towards the end it leaned a little too heavy in the Resident Evil universe, but because of that, now they're explaining what the mold actually is. The E-series virus, it just... If they have to come up with an explanation after the fact, they haven't thought of it beforehand. And if they did think of it beforehand, I'm sorry, but that's contrived. Like, even if they insert it now and they did think of this all along, it's still contrived, because they were purposefully omitting information from the player, making the previous game more convoluted and hard to understand. Hello! But yeah, more convoluted and harder to understand, only for us to get an explanation here, but they've thrown too much on top. You know, I meant to believe that a single virus has done all of this. That's mad. I don't buy into it one bit. What's this? Donna Benevento? Vito? I can't remember how to say it. This Gleesha is no different from Rick. Okay, she can... Wait, what? She can control plants? But that doesn't make sense either, because we saw the doll floating about at the start. Does that mean that everyone was hallucinating? Why does the doll have a different voice? You can't have... Aren't hallucinations largely to do with like how your brain processes information? So I'm meant to believe that Ethan just picked a random voice for a doll in his head and went forward there, because like audibly, how does that work? I could be wrong. You could have an audible hallucination. You know, you can your brain can trick you into thinking you're hearing things, but these are all contrived. I'm not stretching either, right? I've gone past the point where I'm like, so okay, I'll defend this game. Yeah, I've gone past the point where I'm like, okay, I'll accept the explanations this game gives me for the sake of the pride. No, we've gone past that point now. Okay. She's gonna be an ex-umbrella scientist, isn't she? I'm surprised I didn't put Miranda on the back for those people that couldn't give a shit. Look, it's Evelyn. Ha 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 ha. Oh my god. Dear Miranda, my deepest apologies for not meeting you in person. I would love nothing more than to visit your quaint village once more. However, I'm incredibly busy. Then again, I suppose for an immortal woman such as yourself, you will no longer remember this poor half-dead medical student in the snow. I've always cherished the revelations I came to 15 years ago when I stayed in your village. I was inspired by your research to think one could transform a human by infecting them with an organism. Positively visionary. Oh, she's going to be the one that came up with Umbrella. Birkin's going to be... Birkin, Spencer, fucking... Wesker, they're all rolling in their graves at the moment. Well, Wesker question mark. I knew that with your knowledge. Sorry, fucking hell. I knew that with that knowledge, I could achieve my own version for the next step in human evolution. I swear to God. I swear to God, if it ends with a name. Even after 2 world wars and humanity on the cusp of another, my conviction never wavered. I realised, however, through the many nights of intellectual talks you and I shared, that your conviction differed from mine. If you hope to bring back a single dead person, well, I aim to change the world. Your experiments on the mould would not have aided me in my endeavour to achieve an exponential infection. I thought a virus would be more affected. Oh, fuck off. They're actually doing this. They're recording everything. This is why, my dear, I have to leave you goodbye. I still regret never telling you goodbye. My apology. Oh my god, it's going to be Spencer. My apology for reminiscing. I actually have news that I thought might please you. I found the key to evolution. The progenitor virus found in Africa. I can't fucking believe we. This isn't. The writer's going, no, you learned about the progenitor virus, but this is the real original virus. Like, I'm going to tell you why this doesn't matter. I will tell you why this doesn't matter when we get to the end of this. I plan to start a company with friends and colleagues dedicated to the virus research. I will call it Umbrella, just like the symbol in the cave that we spoke about. Fuck off. They found an umbrella symbol in a cave, in an old caveman cave. Someone put like etchings into the fucking wall that looks vaguely like... How does it look like an umbrella? How would a random etch look like an umbrella right next to it? Why would there be an umbrella next to it? You need to think about these things before you write shit like that. I meant to believe that there was just that someone drew the umbrella logo in a cave, and that's how they came up with the idea for umbrella. Like, why is it that shape? Why does it look like an umbrella? You've actually added a layer. It's so convoluted now. That's the thing. Just the umbrella logo is now fucking convoluted. Because why can't it just be an umbrella logo? There's plenty of meaning that you could put behind that. You know? The idea of like an umbrella stopping rain. You know, stuff like that. An umbrella, it makes sense as a pharmaceutical name. I totally buy that. Now you're telling me that's not what the logo means. It's actually some weird caveman drawing. What the fuck does that mean? You've given me another question to ask. One that won't get answered. This isn't good writing. I don't know how anyone defends this game. I really don't. This writing is actually shit. I am one step closer to making my vision a reality. I hope you will be able to achieve your goal someday too. If it says fucking Spencer. You taught me so much, and for that I will be forever in your debt. Sincerely, your lifelong student, fucking Oswald Spencer. I can't believe they've done that.
Spencer, here. No way.
They've just retconned Resident Evil. And it's not just the fact that they've retconned Resident Evil. They've retconned Resident Evil in fucking in a letter. Not to do with story, in a fucking letter. The game would have made more sense without that. In one letter, I'm meant to believe that Spencer came into the village, met Miranda, and she was already immortal. She's already immortal. Okay. How? Anyway. So yeah, I meant to believe that Spencer came into this village long ago, met Miranda. Then, Miranda found the mold here, which is a predecessor to the progenitor virus. And it inspired the creation of Umbrella, which is based off of a cave drawing, pretty much, that looks like an umbrella, but there's no reason for it to be an umbrella, because there's no explanation given to the shape, when you could have just said that Umbrella looks like Umbrella because the company's called Umbrella. No. Instead, bullshit. This is terrible. This is actually terrible. I'm not saying that, like, Resident Evil isn't foreign to retcons, but this is so fucking over the top. It's actually mad. My Eva. It's been 100 years since I lost you to the Spanish flu. Evelyn, Eva, okay. Okay. So she tried to kill herself and then she came into contact with the mold. But how does the... Is it mold or is it just black substance? Are they two different things or are they the same? Also, one of the biggest issues with Resident Evil 7's explanation for the mold is how it didn't really make sense. So Evelyn could control the mold because she was a conduit, but they didn't explain how she could be in control of the mold herself. They just said that when she infects other people, she can control them. That's how it works. But then it started opening plot holes up. Like, okay, the Baker family were infected. Mia was infected before the Baker family, before the tanker washed ashore, but then the Baker family were infected and they succumbed straight away to infection, right? But Mia, while she was infected, she kept drifting in and out. She was resisting, and there was no explanation for that. And the same with Zoe. She was infected as well. Otherwise, we wouldn't have given her the cure. But she didn't react to it in any way. So, how does this work here? The black substance, is it something that, like, does she not go crazy from it? Can she control people? Why isn't she spewing up all this black stuff? She's making mold trees. It's not mold? Question mark. They call it mold, but it's not mold. It's just black goo. And that's how she became immortal. But I was pretty sure that the point was... I'm sorry, it might explain the next 2 pages. I'm sure it will. I don't believe it will. But I assume that the idea for Evelyn's rapid age was after she was separated from her parental figures. or separated from the tanker, her attachment's one of those things that kept her back. I believe that's the explanation which the game gives. So when she was separated from Mia in the tanker, along with her father figure, she started to rapidly age when she made it to the Baker family. That's what I assumed. So why doesn't Miranda rapidly age? How come Miranda can shapeshift, also pop in her model and pop out? Really horrendously and really roughly, by the way. Fucking hell. This game is not polished. I take that statement back from before. But so she could do that. She can make unlimited mold trees. She has the ability to take over the world already. And I feel like that if she took over Umbrella, let's say, if she got in contact with Umbrella, let's say, I'm sure that Spencer would have been more than happy to help her out. Whenever it says I implanted the villagers with mold. Okay. I even tried to increase the efficiency of finding a vessel by creating a parasite I called Caldu. The progenitor virus, Las Plagas, you know, you could have used this. You could have done that. You didn't. What the fuck is this? It's only convoluted when they come up with an explanation for everything that can easily be explained without the complications of bringing something new into the plot. You know, if we've got the progenitor virus already, explain it's a variant of the progenitor virus. Just say it's there. You don't have to go much further. Just say that this was all a branch from the progenitor virus, not that it's a predecessor to the progenitor virus that has its own strains, is a different thing altogether. The progenitor virus is the predecessor to all of the viruses we see throughout Umbrella history. Well, throughout Resident Evil history. So bringing this in, is this linked to the progenitor virus? Is it the progenitor virus? Is it a predecessor to the progenitor virus? I assume it's not, because Spencer found the progenitor virus, so this is older. So the progenitor virus might be a strain of the molded. If it is a strain of the mold, then you see what I mean. It's not something. It's not like I'm nitpicking, right? Because this is your story. A nitpick is if I was to find something very, very minute, you know. So like if there was like 3 buttons on like Ethan's jacket at the start of the game, and then there's 4 at the end of it. Like, that's a nitpick, right? Here, this is convoluted. I say it's convoluted because it's not a plot hole, because they haven't... They're telling this information as if they're going to answer it in the future. It's convoluted because I don't believe they will answer any of this in the future. It's convoluted because the writing so far doesn't make sense. And it is also convoluted because the entire story is wrapped around a concept for having cool looking villains before anything else. You know, not continuing the story from Resident Evil 7, first and foremost, vampires and werewolves. And the other mythical, the sort of legendary universal monsters, you know? That was the idea before any of this. They did zombies, now we can do this. Yeah, there we go. Most turned into lichens. Why? Why specifically lichens? Like, what? Why? Why did they turn big and hairy? What was the point? Why did the virus have like a million different effects on other people? Random effects of that as well. I was once approached by an organisation who said they would assist me. I gave them some of the mould and your DNA, but all they created was another defect, Evelyn. What? But this is the contradiction now. Did she see Evelyn? Was she sent pictures of Evelyn? I'm just... I thought that she personally... like, okay, so... No, Umbrella created Evelyn. Or was this a different organisation? What? If I'm asking this many questions, you haven't written a good story. This is the end of the game. I should not be asking these questions now. You should be planting these questions throughout the entirety of the fucking game, so that way I can gradually ask questions and then you can answer them. And if you're not going to answer them, tease an answer. You know, give me something to bite on. Otherwise, what you've done is, you know, you just went, oh, by the way, I can fucking shoot lightning from my nostril hair. Why? And then that's it. In the game in the game series that has tried its best in its classic entries, even 4, and 5 for that part, has tried their best to make sure to, you know, double down on answering questions about these viruses. Granted, not all of them make sense, because when you create something fictional, they try their best to base it in reality. You know, they try their best to write up how this would work in real life. It doesn't work. Well, it doesn't make a lot of sense half the time, but in universe, they stayed consistent. Right? So it's one of those things where it's like, okay, for us it doesn't make any sense whatsoever, but in-game, in-universe, yeah, makes sense, right? This doesn't make sense in-universe, because I don't know what the fuck's going on now. That's me, yeah. What the why is that dude's head... Oh, I don't care. And who's that? Oh, is that the dad in the top left corner? Wait, hang on. Is that Miranda? So did she actually meet with Evelyn? Yeah. Oh, fuck's sake. I know I've spent a long time just in this room breaking, but the only reason I'm thoroughly convinced now, the only reason why this game got the reception it did is because of the memes, is because of everything that came before it, not because of the actual game itself. Look, the gameplay is fine. It's not polished, but it's fine. It gets the job done, and there is enjoyment to be had. You know, this game can be fun, but its story is...
Show me your hands! Umbrise, this is Alpha. Where is Miranda right now?
Still at the ceremony site. Whatever she's doing, she's staying put.
God damn. It really is you. I'm glad you saved me. Why are you here?
I was caught and used in experiments.
Wait, did you say Mia? Mia Winters?
In the flesh. What's the situation up there?
Kind of a war going on. Nothing we can't handle.
Don't get distracted. Stick to the mission. I'm headed to the ceremony site.
Wait! You can't leave me here. You promised, damn it! You said that you would keep us safe. We did everything that you asked. We moved over here, everything. And I didn't care. So long as we were together. So you tell me, where is my husband? Where is my daughter?
Ethan is gone. I couldn't save him, but I can save Rose.
Do you see how jank that animation was for a second when he turned?
Come on. It's not safe here after all.
See, that's a nitpick. There you go.
What do you mean he's gone?
He's dead. I'm sorry, Mia, but we have to leave. We have to destroy this village.
No! You're wrong. I tried to keep this a secret, but... you don't understand how special he is.
Well... Okay. No, I know what they're gonna do. If they do what I think they're gonna do with the molded, are they gonna say he can just regenerate? His fingers are back.
What's going on? Someone there?
Right, let's hold the fucking phone. So I'm guessing that the molded regenerated him. I'm guessing that's what happened. In which case, first aid spray, useless. Every time he took damage, why didn't he just grow it back? His fingers were chomped off. They should have stayed chomped off. No, they shouldn't. They should have regenerated back, sorry. You know, whenever he loses a part of himself, he should be able to just grow it back. The first aid spray should not... it should work. You know, that's him. He should be the one regenerating back. And also, did he regenerate his wedding ring?
It's cold.
He regenerated his heart, but he couldn't regenerate two fingers.
How did I get here? God, freezing. This shit in my body.
You're so dope.
Hi, Evelyn.
Evelyn? How are you here?
You're dead.
How are you here?
Dead?
Because the writers demanded it, not because it makes sense.
Miranda. She... no. I still have to save Rose.
Wrong. It wasn't Miranda. You were always dead.
What are you saying? I can still...
Oh my god, I can still too, Ethan. So I'm glad we're both on the same page.
Miranda didn't kill you. You mean you didn't think it was weird? No matter how much you got hurt?
They clearly have...
remember.
like a 30-something woman talking to her.
3 years ago, the Baker house.
What?
You were murdered by Jack.
What?
You died there.
That's a
3
record.
years ago.
Why is she suddenly so far away again?
No way.
You shouldn't even be able to walk around.
Quit messing with my head.
No, that still doesn't make sense.
Shouldn't be walking.
Screw you! Whatever.
That is a retcon, though. The Baker family wouldn't have tried to infect him if he was already infected. They would have known. Evelyn wouldn't have tried to make him his dad if he was already infected. Because if he was already infected, then she would have had control over it.
Rose. Mia. I...
No, it doesn't.
Because you get it? Your whole body is nothing but mold. You can't ever see your family again.
Family.
His whole body can't be mold.
Rose. I have to save my daughter.
You're already dead. Dead!
The writers not play the previous game. Did they only play the start of it? Were they too scared to go past that?
I will save Rose!
No. How is no one pointing that? What the fuck is wrong with people that say that this game, oh yeah, the writing is really good? Fuck off, is the writing good? The story is shit, it's terrible, it's convoluted, it doesn't make any sense, and it blatantly retcons entries that just happened a few years ago. This is a dumb story for dumb people. That's what this is. You were killed by Jack at the start of Resident Evil 7. Why would they have tried to infect him then? And also, his whole body's made of mold. How? Honestly, how? Because then, surely, if Ethan was infected, and that turned his whole body mold, Mia should be made out of mold as well. The whole Baker family should have been made out of mold.
At last, he awakes.
Where am I?
My carriage, Ethan. You were having a nightmare.
The whole plot of Resident Evil 7 would not make sense if he died at the start.
Duke?
Your battle with Heisenberg was a sight to see. But to think Miranda would show
What's the point in game
herself.
overs?
How long have I been out?
Not long till dawn.
Duke, I need a favor. Take me to Miranda.
I assumed as much and am already on the way. We should arrive shortly.
Thank you.
But Ethan, are you sure of this? Your body is, well, falling apart.
Yes.
Foolish of me to ask.
Speaking of foolish questions, who or what are you?
Nah, that's a good point.
Even I can't quite answer that.
Okay, so the writers couldn't even think of that. They just went, hey, we have a merchant of Resident Evil 4, let's add another merchant here. I hate this story. I hate
Mr.
this writing.
Winters,
This is some of the worst
I'm
writing
afraid you
I
can't
have
return
ever...
to your old world any longer. Are you ready?
This is some of the worst writing I have ever seen in a video game. So, okay, at least his hand's that way, but why his fingers regenerating? He was fucked up. He was fucked up that badly, and I meant to just believe.
Preparation is more important now than ever before.
I meant to just believe.
This may be our last meeting. Be sure you have all you need.
I meant to just believe that his fingers can't come back.
Oh, the assemblage of life and machine. I can feel Lord Heisenberg's essence through it.
Wait, we've got his hammer as well, don't we? Have we sold his hammer yet? We have not. But why did... Why do we have a cigar? I don't think we're ever putting that back together, are we?
And by it I will.
Not even going to mention anything about his hammer. Right, okay. Sure,
Have you
why
considered decluttering your possessions?
not? Fucking hell. Have you ever considered shutting the fuck up? Yeah, no. I'm sorry. This game just... Yeah. There is not a world where this game makes sense. And no one can tell me otherwise. Like, it has actually retconned the previous game. And
I hope this one makes itself useful.
In, like, the stupidest way imaginable. Because... Oh my god, my brain hurts. Once again, if Ethan was dead, the plot of Resident Evil 7 cannot happen. Because the family wouldn't have tried to infect him at the start of the game, for one, if he was already infected. Or if he was infected and they've already infected him, why would they try to feed him again? That's how they were trying to infect him. But then the family members, like, the only one that would be at all justified for trying to kill him would be Jack, for trying to take his place. But even then, like, Evelyn would have just disposed of Jack, surely. The entire point of the game is that Evelyn is trying to make Ethan her dad. He's infected already. Why the fuck isn't he already, like, under her control? And then later on, I assumed that he was infected when he was on the tanker, because he was. In the game, at that point, that's when he was infected. But no! Fuck that, apparently. He was infected from the start. Which doesn't make sense. The entire plot of Resident Evil 7 no longer makes sense because he was infected from the get-go. I can't think of one good explanation as to why the entire Baker family were out to kill him, why Evelyn didn't have control over him, why Evelyn didn't just dispose of Jack from the get-go, why anything in that game happened. They would have lost from the start. I just... What do you mean I can't... Oh. What?
Aha!
Yeah, fuck yeah, I'm
Choose
fine with that.
wisely. Your life may depend on it.
I'm sure it will.
Leave this to me.
Power 1240. So the shotgun was slightly more powerful? Okay. So 1240, the shotgun's already more powerful. Awesome. But not as powerful as the fucking Magnum. Jesus. This beast. I will definitely be using that against Miranda, I can tell you that.
Because of all this commotion, I've lost an entire territory to transact in.
You mean you've got other territories to transact in? Because that seems a bit odd.
Please, be well.
Thanks.
What reason does the Duke have to work with us? That's another good question. Quit. How many shots have we got on that? 5. Yeah, we'll take this. I think that'd be a good idea. What? Wait, what is this? Oh, first aid spray. How much first aid? We've only got the 1. I've got 2 actually. Will that be enough? I assume that'll be enough.
Duke's Emporium has everything you need for your decisive battle. Your journey nears its end. How about some reckless... This is goodbye,
I tell you what,
Mr. Winters.
We'll continue this next part. This deserves its own episode because I'm going to go on the rant. So I'll see you then.